amazing. It's like you feel so free, it's ridiculous. And then we just kind of watched like our names pop up on the screen. It was pretty surreal.
It was a huge sigh of relief. All the hard work we did just finally paid off. We were kind of going nuts.
She finds the goal, he has to go forward though, confused that change in elevation. She finds the first time, and he does!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup Finals, live from my hometown, baby, New York City. Where you at? Where you at? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. This is it, people, the moment that we've been waiting for. The competition leads to this. I'm your host, Golden Boy, and I couldn't be more pumped to be here because we're about to see the greatest Fortnite players in the world go up against each other in duos competition. Millions in prizing on the line, and most importantly, what's right behind me, the championship, the trophy, and the first ever Fortnite World Champion. We're gonna crown that today, and it's gonna be awesome. And I wanna know if everyone here in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, are you hyped? Are you ready? You know what? Maybe I can't do the job. I think this will do some justice.
No pain, no gain, no guts, no glory. I'm a one-man army, ain't a one-man army. Ain't no weapon formed against me, and you already know the rest, so you know your best ain't gonna stress me. If you the best, I'm the next thing.
Now, I know everyone here is excited to get to the games, and we're going to do so in a little bit. The players are gearing up and getting ready to go. You know that each and every one of you inside of this stadium, you're just pumped. You've had your opportunity to go out to the festival. You've managed to meet up with your friends and enjoy some great times here in New York City. And obviously, our players are here to win a world championship. And the good news is we have two players standing by with Jordan Fisher, who are looking like they can contend for the top of the mountain.
Thank you, GB. You are a handsome man. Now, I'm going to be super honest and very forward right now when I say that I've got two of my favorite people in this stadium right now that are competing together. Two of my favorite people to play with, two of my favorite people to watch and study. We have Sean and Aiden. Aiden, one of the most dominating controller players in the world, and he's proved it time and time again. With Sean on mouse and keyboard, one of the most mechanically skilled and gifted players in all of Fortnite. Now, with this combination of one of you on a controller and one of you on mouse and keyboard, there's got to be some pretty unique strategy that you guys can pull together. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, our synergy is great. Like you said, he's one of the best mechanical players. His tunnels are insane. Like, it's just insane watching him play. And just, you know, me being an aggressive player and having good aim, we really combo together well. And I'm hoping we're going to do good.
1000%. Now, Sean, you both competed in the Pro-Am yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We all know that was a very sweaty lobby. But your thought process, your strategy going into today, tell me how that differs from yesterday and your performance there.
Well, I think yesterday was like super fast-paced. You need to get kills to place well, but today we're going to go for endgame, play super slow, and so we can kill it endgame.
Fantastic. Well, we're all so excited to see you guys. GB, what do you have for us?
Always a pleasure to hear from the Ghost duo. They're going to look to go to the top, and they very well might do that. Now, I asked you guys earlier, I said, are you ready? So I'm going to ask you again, New York City, are you ready? Oh, no, I got to take the earpiece off. New York City, this is my hometown, and I know we can make some noise, so I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready? The Fortnite World Cup Finals start now. Let's send it over to your casters, Courage and Ninja.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Everything on the line here today. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop. Well, this one, I'm joined by a surprise guest appearance, Tyler.
Heck, I'd even settle for third at one point.
Settle for 1 point.
I'll settle. No, we've been playing. We've both been competing for a long time, and I've been competing for almost 10 years. Prize pool's never even come close to this. This is life-changing.
Yeah, absolutely mind-blowing numbers right there. Again, everyone who made it this far, $50,000 in their pocket, but their eyes are on that top 10. They want to jump up that prize money ladder. Again, we are live right now from the Fortnite World Cup Finals. There are so many talented players here today from across the world. We want to hear your thoughts on Twitter. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Really, anywhere you can use hashtags. I know we both have our predictions, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Who
you want to go first?
No. You go first. Who for you is your standout that you're looking to see if they can take it home today?
Dude, man, I mean, I got to give it up to Mongol and Mitro. I think they're gonna definitely close it out. They've been. I really am just super interested to see how they play. I've been watching a lot of their World Cups after they've already qualified. Hands down, one of the most aggressive duos throughout the qualifications. But are they going to do that here? Are they going to go for placement, or are they going to still W key like they've always been doing?
That's typically been their gameplay of choice. There's a look again at Mongrel and Mitro, both qualifying from Europe. You see, last time they played in the week they qualified, their drop of choice was Loot Lake.
Yeah.
So will that remain the same today? These early game battles, these fights for the different points of interest will be so key. You go with a European duo.
Yeah.
I'm picking a European duo as well. Another young squad, Mr. Savage M and Benji Fishy. Dude, Mr. Savage M is cold-blooded. Every time I met him, I'm scared of him. And they're absolutely insane, as you can see right here on your screen. We'll get those pictures fixed, don't worry. But either way, these guys are two absolute tanks. And Ninja, you've watched all these guys.
Yeah.
You're absolutely one of the best players in the world. But it's almost like these guys are in a class of their own.
They are, man. I mean, I've competed against some of these guys in some other online tournaments as well. And literally watching Benji just slay out an entire lobby by himself in squads is. It's like it's art, man. You know what these guys do? It's art. So enjoy.
I know Mr. Savage in a public match got like 40+ eliminations in season 9, which is unheard of. All by himself, solo squads. There are so many ways you can watch though this weekend. I've been just looking on my phone already. I'm seeing 1 million+ of you guys tuning in. As you guys know, so many ways to watch. You've got Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere where there's live streams. Also, a new Fortnite.com/watch feature that you can go take a look at. You'll see some different individual feeds to watch Fortnite competitive for the first time. I know everyone at home looking forward to seeing their top players. This place now, Ninja, is insane.
It's packed, man.
This is one of the most ridiculous arenas I think I've ever seen for an esports event, and I know people flooding on in from the outside. I just can't wait to get it started.
Dude, this is literally what I've been waiting for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Back in the same lobby, all right? In the qualifying matches on Sunday, you're playing against, in a lobby, maybe like 4 or 5 of the teams who are actually here right now, but now this is going to be all of them in the same lobby. Every single battle is going to be the best players in the world fighting against one another. I'm excited to watch the early game when they're landing in their spots. I'm excited to watch the mid game during the rotations. I'm going to be taking notes, and you guys should too.
Yeah. Also, other things that note to bring up. We're going to be playing on siphon settings here, increased material flow. want to explain for everyone at home exactly how that all works?
I'd absolutely love to. So unlike normal matches, when you get an elimination,
Bueno.
all right, you're going to be granted with 50 health or 50 shield, depending on what you're missing.
Sí.
And that's also going to give you 1 point as well. They also drop 50 mats of each, wood, brick, and metal.
Sí.
So, eliminations are definitely going to pay off early game as you guys can stack up those materials.
Yep, and remember that is when you get a full elimination, not when you knock down an opponent.
Correct.
So if I knock a player, you'll see in this, a lot more times teams will immediately try to finish that elimination, get the health, go pick up the materials, maybe secure some extra loot. There's a look at the lobby screen, and Ninja, I was laughing with you
No, ¿quién crees que gane?
For many of them, it's their first time in a
Ah, yo voy a ver las
They
partidas.
wound up going through and they were just
Yo igual.
Spawn Island like they
Espérame.
do right now. I mean, look at the build battles happening on Spawn Island. They're all editing, they're all aiming.
Ah, ya inició la
Just
primera.
sitting still. The nerves running through them insane. The average age
¿Me escuchas?
in today's tournament, 16 years
Fabricio.
old. Some of these guys are going to walk away with $1 million+ this weekend. At 16, what would you have spent your money on? I don't even want to know. Why not even ask that? Probably
16, man? Just a bunch of candy.
Alan.
Man, I didn't really...
Mande. ¿Partidas en qué?
Exactly. Nothing really would change. Nothing's changed.
No,
En dúos.
it's so much fun, man. Again, people flowing on.
También nosotros no podemos entrar, ¿verdad?
Looking at these contested
¿Cómo vamos a entrar?
it's been a very hot topic.
Yeah, man.
¿Qué tiene para ganarles? ¿Quieres entrar? Vete a Nueva York. Ya.
Tilted Towers and
No.
or Neo Tilted as it's now called. We're going to go. In your opinion,
Mia.
right now you play 6 games. Yep. You know how detrimental it can be to your mental state if you have one where you kind of drop right off spawn and get taken out.
Yeah.
Espera.
What is your game plan here? Are you going for it? You don't care how many people land there? You just go and play your game?
No,
Or
I think
you shy away? What do you do?
No, man, these guys have been practicing. They know. They know that they're going to be contested. They know that, and they're not, if they're, intelligent players, they're going to play exactly how they've been practicing the last 10 World Cup qualifiers. They're going to go exactly where they go. They're going to push where they're going to push, and, they're not going to care who it's going to be. Now, me, honestly, I'd like to say that that's how I play, but, dude, in a situation like this, I think that if I saw someone contesting my drop, I'd definitely defer and try to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, you have one bad game, getting over that is going to be a huge mental obstacle, right? You get knocked first, that's going to be something that you're going to be thinking about in the second game, the third game. Oh, my gosh.
¿Y si jugamos unos dúos?
If you're thinking like that, it's over.
Yeah, and I keep seeing
Alan.
you down. You're like eagerly wanting to talk about this map.
Alan.
We have what the first map is going to
Mande.
be. Us, but
¿Y si jugamos
again, guys,
dúos?
so many exciting things going on.
Voy a ver yo las partidas. ¿Se pueden ver? Jugando.
Prop hunt we watched a little bit
Espera.
yesterday, but again, made by Stray Kite. It's a fun little hide and go seek game almost, Ninja.
Prop hunt is the greatest thing that Fortnite has created from creative. It is amazing. It is hilarious. I mean, we were literally getting angry and also just laughing hysterically right when we're about to make it into the incinerator and get our points. It's just so fun. I mean, you could be a toilet. You want to be anything. You want to be a pink flamingo, a bus. Go for it. Go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah, we've had some fun games of prop hunt that we played. But again, right now, live in the gameplay for free, prop hunt. A little bit different than the competitive settings. Obviously, Arena, it's been talked about, Ninja. This is the most played in qualifier for a tournament ever in the history of gaming. 40 million competitors, down to the top 200. To be exact, 178 because of the double qualified players.
Right.
And that is, you can't even put in your head just how insane those numbers are.
I think it's just important to show and let everyone know that, man. Just as it continues to change the game, making these qualifiers online, it just allowed so many of these kids to be here today because they've been able to play it, from the comfort and safety of their home instead of traveling across the world just to qualify.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the first times we've seen something like this, a qualifying like this. And dude, I'm just excited to watch these kids dominate the next freaking 4 hours, 6 hours. I'm ready to stay here all night.
Hey, I'm down to stay here all night. I have no problem with that. I'm sure the arena is as well. When you talk fan events, right, you have so much competitive experience. To me, though, it will never feel the exact same as it does as playing at home. So for these guys, what are some tips that you can share you think that they should kind of take into account as they're playing, maybe on land for the first time?
Well, do what I always tell people when they're saying, hey, Ninja, I'm going to a tournament. Any advice, right? It's do exactly what you do at home, all right? If you wear socks and, no shoes at home, that's what you're going to do. If you don't wear any socks at all or you wear sandals, you wear that. If you wear nothing but sweats and PJs when you're gaming and practicing, that's exactly what you should be wearing right now when you're competing, right?
Yep.
Don't try to change anything up. Drink what you normally drink before the games, water, energy drinks, whatever the case may be, or, eat what you're going to eat. Do not change anything up. It's very important to get in that mental state of what you do and how you've been practicing the entire time at home.
I've even heard of stuff as far as like don't change your sleep schedule and don't for this. Like literally take it like it normally is. Now,
Fabricio.
Talk about how there's $30 million on the line of the Fortnite
Fabricio.
finals across today and tomorrow, but there's already been $3 million in prize
Mande.
money
Ponle listo.
this weekend.
Ponle listo. Ah, pues yo lo estaba viendo como dijiste. O me había dicho que la ibas a ver, pues dije, me la acabo viendo. Partidas nuevas. Ya casi consigo el pico, el del cumpleaños. ¿Tú ya lo completaste todo? Ya. Nada más me falta sobrevivir sobre con oponentes y juego una partida, nada más. Me falta una partida y ya. Ya ves, puedes ver la transmisión.
Doing even more with creative. I think the success of today. Will you continue to go and play creative match?
I think I would definitely say
La llama, está en
I
padre.
feel like there's a lot of potential in creative still, and yeah, definitely this is my thing.
But I want to go down the line and see what each of you guys plan on doing with that prize.
I would probably end up like saving most of the money, maybe like some investments.
He's 18, and he just won $336,000. What are you going to do with the prize?
Apenas se ve regacho.
Ren. Yeah, I think Ren.
Se ve chico.
I'm gonna be responsible. I'm gonna save my money.
¿Cómo se
I am
puso?
gonna be
¿En dónde?
responsible. I'm probably just invest most of it. Try and get
All right, guys. Congratulations again. Absolutely outstanding job. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see what the future of Creative Fortnite looks like.
The Creative World Cup Finals, so much fun yesterday. Again, congratulations to Scissors and his team. $1.3 million won. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. It's not to Taman. You didn't win that, Tyler.
Correct.
Exactly happened.
He's correct. No, we got fourth place, but you know, the crew that I picked out, man, Cal, Taco, just a good bunch of kids, man. I think, and I also got to meet a lot of the creators, the ones who developed a lot of the maps, and just a lot of passion for these guys, man. And you know, I was really happy that I was able to, not even me, together as a unit, we pulled in, you know, 225,000. I mean, little whips, man. You know, we were just, you know, a little ice cream. But that event was so incredible. And it's another thing that kind of came out of nowhere again, that Epic changed the game with creative. You know, I mean, it kind of popped up out of nowhere. All these people, so many people, there were hundreds of people here because of creative.
Yeah. And again, I know I talked to Scissors about it too. He can't believe just how far it's gone from his original runs to now. It kind of inspired one of the three maps yesterday. For you, what was your favorite? Was it kind of the prop hunt mode? Was it the run?
Junkyard 2, bro.
Okay.
Hands down, Junkyard. Fun game I've ever played. I mean, if you're going to go with a crew of like 32 people, if you can even muster up a crew of 32 people, like I want that to be a playlist where I can just go
Espérame tantito.
and it just fills in 32 people. It's so much fun, man.
I'm with that. What about, should we get the whole squad together or not?
I'm down with. Oh, we totally should. We should get a massive content creation squad and just go into that. It'd be the most funny thing in the world. I mean, there's nothing greater when you're a little teddy bear and you're just walking around like trying to make it in. It's amazing, man.
Hey, listen, it's all fun and games here. Obviously, the theme of this weekend. Things going on outside of the fan festival. There's also the Battle Pass redemption. Everyone here has got tickets, has the commemorative tickets. So many things to look back on and remember these moments. For a lot of people here, whether they're players or the individuals and fans who traveled, it's their first time to New York City, such a legendary, iconic place to have this major event. You see, again, the crowd continuing to fill on in, just getting some final things set up for the games. We can get it all launched for you, but trust me, we're all eagerly awaiting the start as well. So many organizations represented throughout the weekend, and I have just received the word that we want. The game is ready to go.
I'm ready. The first pick, Roy, man. Who's it going to be, guys? All right, I want you guys to scream out your favorite duos right now, man. Let's make some noise.
Who do you think's going to win today? Scream it. I want to hear. Oh, it's gibberish. None of it makes sense.
I think I hear Mongrel, Mitro.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fortnite World Cup Finals duo competition begins right now.
This is going to be intense. I mean, there's nothing more, honestly, nerve-wracking than the initial launch. Off the bus, man. You're flying. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to be eliminated. Who's going to be the first one?
Yep.
You don't want to be the first one knocked out in the World Cup. You know, I mean, literally, I knocked him like, it was the first game in the Pro-Am, and that was just amazing. You can't live that down. I don't want to be the first person knocking this.
Oh, for sure. As now we immediately hop on board with my pick to dominate today, Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, and they're heading right towards Happy Hamlet, a place they've called home so many times. And this is contested.
Contested.
You're flying on into here. The early game's so key, and already Benji Fishy trying to put shots down range with that revolver, but area is contested. You see they're kind of split from each other right now. What are their comms like in this exact moment?
I mean, I think right now they're just going to be trying to hear exactly where these guys are, footsteps, any type of information they can pass off to one another is going to be very important. They've been practicing this landing. I'm pretty sure I've watched these guys play literally every week because that's exactly where they normally land. Savage and Benji, they don't always land on top of one another. And you're honestly at a disadvantage if you do land in the same house because you're going to be getting less shields of one another, right? Less chances of getting shotguns and things like that. And I'm just interested to see how they're going to play this out. Are they going to be aggressive? Are they going to back down?
Well, we just saw the first zone has been revealed, and it is a northern side zone, so anyone in Happy Hamlet not safe. Frosty Flight, Paradise Palms, Lucky Landing, all not safe. So continue to keep an eye on this fight. 98 players remaining right now in this game. Now, we mentioned the increased material farming right now, so you're hitting a couple trees, you're getting 20, 30 materials like it's nothing. Let's shift our focus, though, towards the middle of the map here at Dusty Divot, and it looks like Landjock and Punisher go out very, very early in this first game to Tetra and, on the flip side, the new Rogue members.
They're wasting a lot of material right now. You can already see it. You've got only 100 maps left. That's 10 builds. These early game fights are always so detrimental. You have to be very, very, very particular with how many mats you're going to use if you're trying to ramp rush somebody, because if you make it there and they shoot you out and you have no mats, I mean, you're left with literally nothing to protect yourself with.
And look at the advantage that you now have. Tetra hasn't had any shields, but because 2 eliminations come on through, he gets both. That's 50 shield per elim, putting him at max HP, and now he can completely change how he takes this fight. It's not like the normal games where you're still stuck at 100 health and you might second guess what you want to do. You might play a little bit more passively. No, because of those early elims, they now have Dusty Divot to themselves. They pushed out the Asian duo, pushing towards that top Dusty Divot side of XXM Bend, and now they're sitting pretty. Divot all to themselves. They've got metal galore here, as well as wood. The one material that really be lacking is going to be stone.
Yeah, definitely going to be lacking stone. They can get a 500 metal, which is going to be their most valuable asset here, landing in Dusty. They have no rotation items when you're looking over there, so hopefully they find something that's going to help them with you later. There are no balls that spawn in Dusty, so it's going to be very big.
Alan, ¿me escuchas?
There's another fight going on towards Fatal Fields, and with how little materials there are, you got to think these players down low who are already just on light HP are in a tough spot, and there it is. Scarlet and his duo, Bell, get the quick elimination onto Brush. And that's going to push back Brush's duo into Fatal Fields and try to hide for a brief moment. Another rough start right there. So much stone in Fatal Fields. I feel like Fatal Fields is a
Aguas porque aquí hubo guerra.
I think you can get everything in Fatal Fields. You definitely get wood and brick very quickly, and then there's definitely some metal that you can gather around. You know, there's a bunch of cars and things like that.
Te agarró la tormenta. Y ahí viene.
But listen, man, I'm really
Córrele.
curious why they're not pushing Sizz.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword too, because yes, Sizz is by himself, but we've all experienced how easily you can hide in that brush there in the cornfield.
No manches, me dieron, Alan, me dieron.
Know how to actually navigate the loop in the corn without breaking the corn. So
I need to break the corn every time.
Right, I'm not good enough to know, but there's a certain path you can go on, and Sizzlucky will actually be able to go back and pick up Rush's card. So this is key.
Think you should go
Reboot Vans. Remember when you get brought back, only 100 HP
Alan, me vienen dando.
and a common pistol. That will bring a lot of attention over. If you are Scarlet and Bell, are you sprint back over that flight? I think so. Now across the map, though, an engagement going out between KBB, Yuang, and their duo up against Vinny and Zexro, and there's the knock right there, Ninja.
Drum shotgun's very powerful. It's definitely underrated. You can get inside something one by one right there. I mean, there's another knock.
Ay, ahí voy a la ahorita te voy. Espérame.
Trying to take the wall. I think his teammate is not going to be able to stay alive, so it's exactly he's got the shield advantage. All he has to do is play this patient. I'm pretty sure that these guys don't have that many materials, so just needs to spray it out and hopefully find a chance to take it down. But he's healing up.
Yeah, Zexro has minis as well as big shields, so we'll be able to get back to full shield.
Zex definitely can interrupt this now. Was try to get in those spots where you can beam people who are going to be flying throughout the sky using a lot of the slipstreams and just taking advantage of, you know, your incredible accuracy.
A little update too on Sizlucky. They did get the reboot in Fatal, so they're both back in play. Look at how slow this lobby is going, folks. 92 players left, and a definite fan favorite here. Nate Hill and Funk of FaZe Clan currently set on up near Lazy Lagoon. And Ninja, this is your landing spot that you went to with your duo Reverse. What are maybe some little tips and tricks for players at home who like to land here?
Yeah, all right, so there's, if you go on the boat, on the ship, every single one of the masts is like worth 200 wood. So you definitely want to go for those and easily get max wood in Arena in probably less than 10 seconds. And also there are some metal anchors in town that you can get for about 300 metal, which is, you know, like the most valuable material that you can get. I mean, I'm just 91 players. I mean, have we talked about Storm Surge? I mean,
we haven't yet. I was going to let that be a bridge when we cross it, but
because 91 people left. I mean, how soon is it going to be?
We're going to have Storm Surge in every game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to like this is going to be nuts. If you guys don't know what Storm Surge is, basically the team that has done the least amount of damage is going to start.
Alan, ¿me escuchas?
Are going to be nuts. People are going to get lasered out of the sky.
And Letwick now all by himself in a 1 versus 2 as his teammate did go down. You see Parpy and Volks still quite healthy between the two of them. Over 140 HP for both of them. Harpy still playing the slow ground, trying to spray out the opponent, and look at the material count for Volks. 135 total builds. It does look like Letwick just kind of ran away, but I don't believe Letwick was able to grab his teammates' reboot card, so will basically be by himself for the rest of this game.
You know, it's going to be almost impossible to perform alone when your teammate is knocked. And there's the Storm Surge warning. These guys are 106 above it. You guys can see that, which means that there's somebody who has 106 damage less than them that is currently below the threshold, and they are going to need to hit some people, deal some damage. And that's actually the beauty of Storm Surge, right? You don't necessarily only want people kind of just lingering around in their one-by-ones, praying that the circle moves to them. You're gonna see some fights that are gonna be forced to break out because players need to get above that, or they're gonna die. They're not gonna be able to make it.
Now moving towards the Dusty Divot Diner. You see Clicks
I didn't
and
even know you could
Skeptic.
farm this.
Yeah, the very young duo from NA East, and you just said yourself, I didn't even know you could farm this.
Didn't even know you could get down there.
This is off the little things that they know that really no one else can pick up on. Many teams already stacking here, as there's so many materials to be farmed up, and for a lot of players, Ninja, once they get max, they don't just stop there. They keep farming to have an excess for more if they need to expend a lot of materials quickly. Yes. On the bottom right of your screen, you see a fight going down in Salty Springs. A lot of grenades being thrown right there. That's going to be Serpent and Hype.
Serpent and Hype in a pretty decent spot. You're seeing, if you guys can look on the mini-map that we're staring at, every single team is now in the safe zone. Everyone is safe in the next circle. It is moving in. And double heavy sniper is in play. For those of you guys who do not know, a heavy sniper will take out a metal wall. It'll take out pretty much anything. It does 1,500 damage to structures. So if you have two teammates who have double heavy snipers, they can see a team, line up a shot of somebody hiding in a one-by-one, and be able to take them out.
And that changes the game completely. Once you hear double heavy, you can no longer sit still ever. Or if you know where they're at, you have to make sure you have at least 2 walls of cover on that side to protect you from the inevitable double snipe. And when we say double snipe, it's as far as 1, 2, 3, shoot. And they both fire at the same time and catch you off guard.
There's absolutely zero time to react. And one thing you guys we were talking about are the rotation items. We got 6 shadows for this guy, and they have a baller, so they're sitting pretty. I think these guys are in a great spot.
Absolutely. And you see the zone did just update towards the northern side of this current storm. Storm Surge is now in play, so players beginning to drop. 80 players in total in this game. They will just rotate on out of here. Hype and Serpent don't want the fight. And that's Jay now quite weak. With Storm Surge beginning to tick in. Quentin and Lanouf now having to push a fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it just kind of smites them down from the heavens, and there they go. Getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force people into some pretty tricky situations. But again, man, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for teams, man. You don't want to be put in that situation where, you know, you have to desperate and push. Maybe a duo that's better than you in combat. You know what I mean? And Airwax and Nikov just...
That's a replay.
Was that a replay? They just went down.
Airwax and Nikov are winners. Well, Airwax at least are back-to-back winner of the Pro-Am. Does go down. Airwax double qualified as well. Tough first game for them as they do go out quite early on. 71 players left in this game. 38 duos. Again, it's a slow crawl as everyone begins to drop. Have you ever seen anything like this in competitive
No, I think that the only time that we saw numbers like this were when the circles they didn't really chunk that much and they were more centralized in the beginning of competitive. So really no one had to rotate that much and no one had to fight. So now that these circles are really just kind of moving around the map, you can't really predict them. I mean, you're getting these players who have, again, the great aim, and they're just beaming people who are focusing on trying to rotate into the circle. Now look, there's so many people coming from the south right now. And it's just free kills if you guys are in a top position with solid aim, man. You're going to Texture right now, already getting beamed. He's spamming the spacebar, trying to make it as difficult as possible to hit. He sees a lot of, look at it, already trying to figure out right now, where's he going to land? Look at all these people who are already boxed up. They're already creating these tunnels. More shots coming down. And he's going to be able to make it. 8 grenades. So that's going to be, I mean, if he can get in a position where some players are already getting focused on the outside, 8 grenades, he might be able to clean up those kills too.
Yep, that's right there. They do box up in time. Did take some shield damage, but thankfully they have some minis to replenish that in just a few brief moments, as there's Eclipse now using them. He's got his teammate right next door as well. Medkit, so they're going to pop that too. Every little bit of HP matters. Saving the campfire for the late game, it appears.
Definitely got to save the campfire.
In the elimination feed right there. Here's a look at Mongrel earlier with his duo, Mitro. They're set up currently in this zone. 68 players left.
Love watching this guy play, man. I'm serious. I mean, here's you just check his inventory. Only got 2 guns right now, which is inventory rifle and a combat shotgun. So he has no spray guns. All right, spray guns are anything to an SMG, tactical assault rifle, SCAR, anything like that. You've got to have a gun that can shoot pretty quickly to kill players and hit players through their one-bys. Very difficult. Look at that healing too, though. Yeah. 5 slurps, 2 slurps, 5 chug splashes.
And they already have a slurp ticking. This is insane.
Super close to the zone as well. They don't have to move too far.
Yep, and material-wise, look at that, 135 total builds. They're in a fantastic position to make some noise in game number 1. We'll definitely keep up to date with them. The slipstream slowly inching towards where it begins to shut down Ninja, but with so many slipstreams still available in this current zone, a lot of players are going to use that to rotate on in freely without using launch pads or the shadow bombs. There's your whole map right there. The eastern side of the zone. None of these players really going to be into play. They're going to have to inch a little bit more towards Loot Lake if they want to be safe.
Some of the best, look at these are the best players in the world, and look how close they are to one another, man. I'm so excited when they actually have to force into these fights. The Storm's going to start pushing them. Look how, I'm sorry, man, I just can't, man. You guys notice also, Stinks, man, these players are so talented. It's going to be so hard to spray through their walls and actually deal damage to them. So you need things like grenades, like Stinks, right? Little fart bombs is what I like to call them, to force people out of their 1x1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1x1s to dodge the Stinks.
You see the Stinks right now going down on the Mongrel, and Mongrel gets immediately ripped in 2 as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive.
With good rotation, luckily.
Definitely has a bunch to, to be able to play with. The next Storm Surge has begun to kick on in. Intro. 12 damage below, will have to begin to put shots down range. The zone pushing as well. So in this position, with the zone at their back, Mitro's goal, spray at players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right out of it. Mitro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then once in duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in, everyone knows that.
Very little ammo, though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still, though, only 80, meaning combined between the 2, they really only have about 150 shots to work with. The zone still pushing. 61 players left. Reminder, folks, this is game number 1 of 6 today in the duos competition. Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall and he wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space. Will he be able to go?
He's going to be able to pop that slurp. He's got
the Storm Surge on.
He's trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to need to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. As players are continuing to drop all around, but Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through the Storm Surge. Fantastic composure. Again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more Dubs. The duo still
okay,
down.
So now finally above. Finally above, and guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. But he has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out. He dropped the shotgun. Okay, there you go. Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys, the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This Storm Surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out. 52 players left. And this is where things are about to get serious, guys.
Thomas drops some ammo right there for his teammate, Inclusia. And you see Thomas, that epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is so good about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head. Boom. You're going to get that headshot. You're going to get 80 points of damage. And there's now the upgraded versions, the Legendary and the Epic, have 10 shots instead of 8. So, I mean, it just packs a punch, man. It can really catch players off guard. And that's exactly what you're going to need when you're playing against these top players who will literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle, so this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
And we know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the Shadow Bomb. And does land. Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge of it. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. Will just stay boxed up for a brief moment. As now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. That, all right. Bongo, unfortunately, do you still end with Micho still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off him or have a rocket launcher to just take him out of it.
He's just so weakened. Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one. But 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, it's all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Mitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try it. Look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We've made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
God, Mitro just got a double, I think.
Mitro
5 limbs.
Tries to get it done. Not enough. Zayt and Saf, 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will.
Zayt and Saf had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction. They know how key that was. And I've watched so many games of competitive Fortnite, Ninja. They were the only duo left with still like 18 players remaining. Yeah. When they get the high ground like that, they send 1 player down to get close. Scarlet was already weak, and there's just no shot. In the end, the veteran players of Zayt and Saf take game number 1. And you know, Ninja, that was a big topic of conversation. Players with LAN experience, players who've been around the Fortnite competitive scene at these major events. Get to them. Guess what? The answer is no. Zayt and Saf take game number 1.
Kept their composure. It was absolutely incredible to watch, man. And seriously, these guys have been absolutely dominant in the World Cup qualifiers online. And it's only fair that they continue to show their dominance here at the actual World Cup stage.
Brilliant performance. You know that their game plan is always last as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they made it through those storm surges, even with them not getting very aggressive, they had 0 limbs down to those final few moments. Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy, we have to talk about them for a second as well. The European young duo. They were on the high ground. It was looking good, Ninja, but so many players focusing them, the shockwave grenades as well, and they had no healing left.
It's unfortunate, man. We have a group full of these players who are literally the best in the world. They know exactly how to win, right? So if they don't have the high ground, they know that whenever there is a moment that they have to shoot the high ground out with rockets, shockwave grenades. I think that's actually what happened. I think someone shockwaved up and knocked them off the high ground.
Yep.
But when you have shield like Zayt and Nafted at the end there, and that high ground, I mean, it's over, man.
What a sigh of relief.
Incredible,
for those 2.
Incredible first game. And we're only just getting started.
We're only just getting started. Remember, 6 games being played today in the duos competition, in which $15 million will be rewarded. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, except with solos. So you'll want to stay glued to the streams here for the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get involved in the conversation. Send to Ninja and I your thoughts after game number 1. Who surprised you? What are you looking forward to in games 2 through 6? For me, other things I noticed, man, you've got to be on your A game. When it comes down to taking note of where you are with the Storm Surge, those were longer Storm Surges that have lasted than I've ever seen before.
I've honestly never seen Storm Surge affect the game so much. Yep. Because here we are having 80 people left after the second circle. So, you know what I mean? Like, and these guys, they're not going to let you hit them. You know what I mean? And if you want to put shots on these guys, it's going to be when they're flying in the air, rotating, which you also expose yourself to a sniper shot. You know.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward, man. Right?
It's
Let's see how these guys change. I wonder if the guys who did get hurt a lot by the Storm Surge, are they going to make changes in the second game? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to deal some damage as they rotate? That's what I want to know.
That's a great way to think of it. I know there were so many people that want to give their thoughts on these games, but over at Unreal Island, we've got our very own Sundown with his thoughts on game 1.
Thank you so much, Courage and Ninja. And the first match of the duos competition is over in the Victor Royales. Well, experience wins out. We talked about Energy Zate and Ghost Saf and how they've been playing so long together, and that endgame was a prime example of textbook Zate and Saf. We're going to re-roll it one more time, and we're going to break down kind of how they were able to keep the control. Now, pay attention right away. You can see on the backside, Saf has one angle while Zate is going forward, and they're moving back over the tarps they've already established, but the angles they take make sure they're covering everything. They hear the shots below, they're putting the fire down towards them, and Scarlet is able to pick up Mitro, but doesn't have enough to get out. Zate and Saf, 5 eliminations, victory royale, 15 points, showing that their competitive experience, their experience on stage and at major LAN events is winning out right now. They say nerves, what nerves? We might as well be playing at home on our own stations because they are just that good. Match 1 is over. Time to get back over the stage for match 2. Ninja and Courage, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sundown. Great stuff as always there from Unreal Island outside of the venue, enjoying the event themselves. But again, game number 1 in the books. Obviously, so many updates to see exactly where we stack up. In the end, those final moments can be so hectic. So before we hop into game 2, we will have a standings update for you all at home. Who do you think's on top of it right now? Well, this one, it's Saf and Zate, but solo. And you're still up there. Guess what? Not only does he stay alive, not only does he perfectly use his materials and his movement items, but he somehow finds 5 more limbs, putting his team from probably an abysmal game 1 to top 3 in our leaderboards. Again, here are your standings from game number 1. Dubs and Mega, they wind up making it through as well, and that's because of Mega staying alive too.
Absolutely, incredibly talented duo, man. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what Aiden can do, and Sean, so hopefully they step it up in this next game. Game 2 is about to get on its way, man. Are you ready?
I am ready. Ladies and gentlemen, in this sold-out arena, are you guys ready for game number 2? Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle bus has launched. Game number 2 of the Fortnite World Cup Duo Finals is underway.
Again, I'm just going to keep saying it, the most nerve-wracking part of any competition, but definitely Fortnite for me, is the second you jump out of that bus.
Yep.
Right? Once you hit the ground, once these players hit the ground, they're going to definitely have hopefully less nerves, going to get back into the flow, back into the farming mentality. And man, I'm looking at these llamas on my screen, and I'm just hoping that they find them. There's nothing greater than finding the new upgraded llamas at 350 mats.
Dude, they're insane. And they're everywhere. And look, wait, can we look at the map? Look at the north side. You've got 3 llamas in a very small area. And many players have gotten better at spotting llamas from very, very far away.
I mean, the one thing I was telling my teammate Malachi, I was like, listen, man, sometimes you just actually have to tell yourself, hey, we should probably look for llamas as we're flying in because, you know, usually you're looking for players who's going to be landing next to you. But if you actually keep an eye out for that adorable pink, purple, and blue llama.
And there's one.
I mean, look, you're just going to get rewarded with shield, rotation. There's Shadow Bomb Storm, campfires, minis. I mean, these are incredibly valuable.
And remember, materials get capped at 500 of each type. So when you get 350, it's done its job for you. You can spend much less time looting and, farming, and much more time looting. And look at Zate perfectly using the Shadow Bomb Ninja. For players at home who are wondering how he just used it for way more than the 6 seconds it actually lets you use it for, explain a little bit of staying on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, all you have to do is just continue that jump animation. That's going to trigger the double jump. And as long as you don't touch any solid ground, you're going to be able to continue to double bounce back and forth, man. It's an incredible use of the Shadow Bombs, and you're probably going to see a lot of players do something like that in the late game off of other people's builds, and which is way more difficult to do that off a mountain, by the way.
For sure, as we now take a look at Storm is landing side of the map, and this Storm is very far. Great point to bring up there. We can see on our side, the zone right now basically gets cut off at Dusty Divot and Neo Tilted, and the rest of the north side of the map are in play. So everyone near the middle and south side will have to move, and you see in the elimination feed very early on, Elevate does get cut down. So a tough start for the duo from 100 Thieves right there, as you've got to wonder if Arkram's still alive. Either way, though, Daedra and M11Z
looks like they have players
down in Loot Lake, in Loot Lake, Lucky Landing, and they do have a duo nearby.
Looks like they're trying to obviously back away while continuing to farm up. Lucky Landing is not really a 4-person landing. When more than two people land here, one of them is going to be leaving a little bit handicapped. And Yu Wang in a fight right now, popping that last big shield, so all of his damage that he will take from now on will be permanent unless he gets an elimination and gets.
And look at how good these stink grenades are right now. Scram and Mexi have lost so much HP off the start of this one just from getting ticks. The spray does come on through. A third party, though, beginning to shoot down on a Yu Wang. So another player putting their attention towards this fight.
Trying to line a side
at Snobby, but KBB does go down. It's now Yu Wang all by himself, and no materials left, Ninja.
He can't even take a wall.
They're really, this is an abysmal position to be in. Yu Wang knows that, trying to fall back to his teammate to maybe sneak a revive, but I just don't see.
A lot of these players really are kind of hesitant. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily want to push. There is a third party now. They don't have a lot of shield.
Are they going to get it off
the right play?
They're going to push forward.
Yu Wang no shield, and he's going to get the double. He's going to get the double and the revive on KBB. And there was some delicious shockwave grenades that just slid down the ramp.
Yu Wang takes them down. The 4 builds left. I believe there was some help. The shots that came in from that third team getting nearby, which weakened them at first. Yu Wang gets the cleanup on the last one right there. What a swing for the duo. Shot does come in onto Keys, though, as another fight going down just outside the desert side of the map. Keys and Slacks up against 2.
Running out of materials already, and guess what? These guys are at the farthest point of the storm.
Yep.
So this is not, they can't afford this fight, right? The longer this takes, they're not going to be able to get materials. They're going to be burning all the materials in this fight right now. So they're definitely going to need these elims to make up for it.
That was
and he took the knock on Landjock.
And Landjock and Punisher went down early last game as well, and it looks like Landjock will suffer the same fate here.
Upgraded combat shotgun, you know he's going to take that. Punisher trying to make some plays here, still not.
But you mentioned they can't afford to do that. It takes so much time in that fight. They've got to go very far still. Now over to Neo Tilted, Clicks and Skeptic in a fight.
Got some shield. Doesn't necessarily want to use this mini to only get a 10. And he looks like he's trying to obviously take some walls, help his teammate out. No, he's getting taken. With the trap kill, he's going to get the knock. Unbelievable, incredible place. Bad Sniper goes down, and now he's continuing to branch out. When you guys are in fights like this, you always want to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is branch out, continue to build these little 1x1s with pyramids, try to confuse your opponents of where you actually are healing up.
Skeptic, just 8 builds left. They're trying to stay alive right now. They do have the number advantage. Clicks has time to pop 1 mini, and it looks like they're going to go for it right now. They've made the conscious decision to try to build out, but no. They back up for a moment.
Finally gets a shotgun.
Yep. Shotgun picked up. Grenades now as well. They want to go for the second elimination. And
we take the, oh my god, we got some track talk
in real life. Did he just take the L in real life? Homie, this is land. This dude's gonna come over. No, I'm just kidding.
40,
but the Stinks come on in.
Stinks coming in, 22 health left. Campfire down. He has.
Oh, and look who's here.
Third party. Hello.
Look who's here. NA puts up the take the L, and EU says no, no, no. This is the World Cup, baby. I'm gonna show which continent is best. Mitro and Mongrel, full HP, and they storm roll through.
Dual links for Mitro.
Clicks
Still
right
plays
there.
down low. Wow, incredible. Look at that kid. Gold scar, gold combat, heavy shotgun, or I'm sorry, heavy sniper rifle for taking opponents' walls. Look at, they're just stealing and bum rushing, and that's going to be it.
And there's no shot right there. Skeptic. You saw, hey, putting on a show. I love it. The man does YouTube for a reason. But then also a fantastic player. I think speaks a little bit too soon. Aiden now on your screen. Does knock one. Hasn't finished the elimination yet, so still will gain 50 HP if he can get the full. There it is. Now a 2 versus 1. Aiden and Sean. Look at how weak Sean is, though, Ninja.
Sean has absolutely no health. A little bit of shield. Hopefully we're going to drop some minis here. Aiden being the good team that he is. I'm sure he's calling it out right now. But it is also a 2-on-1, and they don't know, we don't know how weak this guy is right now, but if he is weak, they're going to look to try to trade. And there's a double shotgun shot for over 21 white. Players no shield left are going to try to put the pressure on. Sean has health, and look how aggressive they're being. They're both one hit. They can actually grab.
They're going for it. They're saying, you know, you would have thrown the trap down by now. And there it is. And look at the take from Aiden. The jump out to the side, and they'll be rewarded with shields, with materials. And look, Aiden actually, there was 2 big shields.
Yeah.
Aiden's got the full health.
That's incredible, man.
You see the stats so far this game. Aiden has done 434 damage, has taken 312, and he's near backup to max health. I know Aiden is a crowd favorite here. Every time the camera goes on, there's a big cheer from this sold-out arena.
For those of you guys who do not know, the Storm Circle is about to update right now. We just saw our second one, forcing everyone out of the north and east side of the map. And also, guess what? Every single llama was found.
Yep.
All 5 llamas have been found, so we have some probably high material players right now.
A lot of rotation.
Oh my god, I can't even. Freaking out, man.
You're getting into it.
Looks
right
like a
now.
lot of people.
I love it.
Yeah, we're looking around. They're all gone. There's only 1 airdrop that's left, which means a lot of players. It's very difficult, man. Going for airdrops is super risky, but it looks like everyone at the World Cup here is taking their chances.
And what's kind of funny with this zone, as you see it on the bottom right side of your map, the slipstreams are there to basically help everyone get from the southeast, east, and south side of the map easily into this zone. So if you kind of sit outside and wait for players to move in from the slipstream, you might be able to deal a lot of damage. And remember, you might think, oh, well, there's no way you're going to get that elimination. I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying free damage for Storm Surge when that comes into play, because it is going to happen very, very soon here. We're about a minute away.
It literally looks like we've been watching that action. But there's 84 teams, 84 players left still.
Yep. I guess that's a testament to our observers backstage. Great stuff to them. Sizlucky does take a bit of storm damage right there. Chug splashes in the inventory. And Ninja,
like a dolphin.
Chug splashes have came into this game and they've completely taken competitive by storm. Are they the best healing item currently in this meta?
I think that, there's a lot of items that get added where, not everyone is all unanimous about it. People do not like it. But let me tell you something about these splashes. I woke up to some delightful posts.
Delightful
just some delightful posts.
Yeah.
Those of you guys who don't know what they are, each one splash, they come in packs of 2. You can stack up to 6. They give you 20 health, 4 shield, whatever you're missing.
And they're instant. You throw them down the ground, and they can be used to heal you and your teammates around you, as well as, if you really want to be a troll, your enemies that you've knocked. Here are Mongrel and Mitro in the zone, and you talked about this inventory. I'm going to come out and say it right now. There is no way someone in this lobby has a better inventory than what Mongrel. So they're in a position right now, Ninja, where they have a pop-off performance right here. With only 6 games being played after the first 2, they could be your leaders.
Absolutely. I mean, they were only 2 points away from first, man. And they didn't even win the game. And Mongrel went down early before placement points were even rewarded. So, Sean in another fight with Quentin and his squad. Sean trying to take some walls here. And he's out of light ammo.
Out of materials.
And he's out of materials. So he can't even spray right now. The only thing you can do is spray an AR, and that's not really going to be effective against top players if you're actually trying to take walls.
Well, the player tried to drop a trap down low to bait Aiden, but Aiden does not fall for it. This seasoned veteran trying to cover his back. Players beginning to spray on through. Stink bombs dropping, and there's one of them. Another shot comes in.
Gets his shield. That's why he went for the thirst.
Yep.
And grabbed the mats. 365 mats now. He is, or more than that. He's got
to get out of the stinks. They've got to get out of the stinks.
So weak 2.
Look at how weak they are.
And don't they can get both Sean and Aiden. I think that's exactly what they did. They split up. Now he's trying to take one by one. getting pushed by more than one person.
Quick reaction from Aiden, but this looks like it could spell disaster for the duo. Damage dealt 639. He does go down, though the quick edit comes
Making
through.
plays. Now it's up to Sean. Can he clutch it? Only 2 HP. Got some minis. Picked up some ammunition now for his minigun. But looks like Spades is just way more healthy. And obviously there's 3 other players who are around him as well. So what's he going to do? Looks like he's going for high ground. Smart play, but he's out of mats.
Oh, no,
he's got wood.
He's got wood. He's good. Yeah, we both freaked out.
Going to put himself in a nice pyramid. For those of you guys who don't know, when a brick or a metal pyramid.
Big thing to note. Look at his zone. He has to push. That's it. He has to push. He has 52 health, but the zone is right at his back. He's got to go. Don't even worry about Storm Surge. They're 446 above
as well. Has a shot, and he's going to be taken down. I mean, that's just the worst position to be in any competitive game, is being weak, low materials, low health, and being forced to push in.
Every time you watch Aiden and whoever he's playing with, they are always the most aggressive, it appears.
Yes.
If you remember the famous moment, I think for me, arguably one of the most famous moments in Fortnite competitive history was the Nick Merckx and Aiden duo, where they made it into the big bonus about a year ago.
Oh my God.
And a crowd popped off. Well, they're always scrappy getting into eliminations. Here, the stat popped up for a second. Aiden and Sean had done 680 damage in the game. The average in the lobby was 80. They were 600 above in this lobby already. Unfortunately, though, when you fight that much, there's a higher chance of you going down. Speaking of potential fights, here's Sizlucky and Brush, who we saw earlier on in the last game at Fatal Fields struggle to stay alive. Now in another tough spot, as they're both low on shields and low on health.
Decent rotation items, 2 shadows on the launch pad. Again, I always want to keep stressing that, because if you guys have some launch pads, even one shadow can get you into another zone, right? Which is going to hopefully get you those placement points that you need, or even put you in a position to get some eliminations. But yeah, as you said with Aiden, we mentioned earlier, are people going to change how they're going to play, right? Are they going to do anything different here at the World Cup? And guess what? I'm pretty sure we can say that Aiden's squad is not doing anything different. They're being incredibly aggressive. They're putting the damage down. And unfortunately, there were just too many players who took advantage that they were weak.
And that was the top 5 leading into this game. You see it updated again right there on your screen of where the leaderboard is at the moment. Mitro and Mongrel staying alive,
in a great spot,
holding this pyramid edit. And for people at home who might not know, he's not exposed right there, right, Ninja? He's peeking through his build.
Correct. As you guys are peeking through a pyramid, you hit edit on it, you cannot be seen, right? And you can also see through it. It's a very amazing feature. Fortnite Battle Royale.
Fortnite Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience.
Ultimate Battle Royale experience, man. Blue T is in the storm, taking damage, a lot of damage, and he's still going to be rotating. Road taking damage as well. Thomas going to have to make some plays. And there goes Road. He actually just got knocked. 66 players remain. And this storm is kind of moving a little bit away from Pleasant Park, but it's once you have a high ground mountain in play, I mean, I'm wondering if it's going to go north.
There's 3 high ground mountains in play, and
really mixes it up late game.
A drone ship that people can wind up going on top of, and those are brilliant to use.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys can get up on top of those, guess what? You have ultimate high ground on the map without having to place any mats.
Yep.
It's incredible. You can't get sniped from above, and you can deal as much damage as you want. Also, it's incredibly difficult to shoot players that are up there.
100%.
But it's important to know that after the 5th circle closes in, those air vents will stop working. So if you don't have any rotation to get down, glider, redeploy, anything like that, yikes. That's a massive yikes. So you have to pray that someone puts a launch pad down underneath it somehow.
Yep.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Just risk it all.
Most of these teams will mess that up. Now, we talked about our Game 1 winners, the team that took home the Victory Royale, which is, again, 10 placement points, the max you can get for placement in these games. It was Zayt and Saf, and they're currently set on up in this zone for the moment.
Did they just get the zone as well? Are they the yellow team in the minimap? I mean, they're close enough for sure. I can see. I think, no, actually, no, they got to rotate a little bit, but look, they got 4 shockwave grenades.
Yep. And they'll be all right. They'll be able to make it happen.
Airwax and Peacock, man. Here we go. They have to rotate the farthest. Look how many stack players are on this side of the lobby right now, and they're all going to have to move very soon.
Yeah. Arkram and Falconer have a tough rotation ahead. Slacks and Keys. Watch them fight a little bit earlier on against Landjock and
pop those heals till his teammate comes in.
Yep.
No, he missed one.
He did miss. No, his teammate's full. Teammate's full. Don't worry.
It doesn't matter. Geez.
Teammate's full.
I was playing with Myth the other day, and he was using a lot of chug splashes without me, so I'm really sensitive on it.
We'll let you and Myth handle that one. As again, it seems like some tension there, but we continue to move on in this fight. This is game 2 of 6, folks. The matches will be going on throughout the day. 62 players left in this one. 35 duos. You see Arkram and Falconer. It looks like they did a duo shockwave to try to fly across the map together.
Good teamwork.
As the frantic rotation begins to move on in, more Storm Surge will soon begin to come into play as well.
Jack, I have a question for you, man.
Yes.
Once these circles start closing in so small, what do you think is the play? To rotate in right away once it's revealed if you're far out, or to wait and be the last team?
For me, it completely comes down to what you have left, what you have in your inventory, where you are at, the leaderboards as well. If I'm in a position where I know I need to make some ground up on the leaderboards, I want to rotate early and try to begin to spray back on the opponents to get some free eliminations.
Yes.
If you get the zone on you, you begin to just build on up and get that height so you can spray on down as well. In this one, though, again, all comes down to rotation. If you have nothing to rotate with and you're far away, I think you play late and hope someone else drops a launch pad near you and use that community pad to your advantage.
Yeah, and we're looking over here at Ewing. 3 eliminations, sitting here with some very good materials, and it's definitely a very delicious loadout. Anyone with a heavy sniper and a blue SMG in a combat.
And remember, he started the game in Snobby Shores with that clutch when KBB did go down, so they're still in this one because
he still has that beautiful blue combat where he clutched it with, man.
Yes, he does, and all the materials he could ever ask for it. Nearly 100 builds in this one.
See, they're marking right now. I think they have a double heavy sniper combo.
They're either marking double heavy or they're saying, focus this, the zone's closing there.
Better find out soon enough. It literally looks like he's marking exactly. He's trying to look and see. Yep,
they do have a double heavy sniper. And Ninja called it, the man knows. They see one.
And you guys saw the pyramid. This is exactly what Jack talked about earlier. You need 2 walls, 2 layers protecting you from one of those walls so that double sniper will not take you down.
But they've got the tools, the key to open all doors, as I put it. And this zone, Ninja,
it just moved over a mountain, man.
It just moved onto the side of the mountain, so high ground will be in play. But at the same time, Ninja, half of the low ground still in play, so it's not as bad a position for the low ground players. Here's a look at Mongrel and Mitro. Remember, Mongrel did go down early on in the last game. He's got to back on up because he's burning through materials very, very quickly. They're far above this Storm Surge, so they're good for the moment, and there's the replenish from his teammate in Mitro. 64 total builds left.
Always see them doing this. They always split half and half match with one another, and then they go and collect the others, and it's just a perfect way of making sure that you guys have equal material.
Look at how weak Sap is. Sap just sneaking up through with that Shadow Bomb. The spray coming in from Mongrel. Stink Bomb is hit as well. Everyone focusing these players on the outside. They've got the minigun firing too. The lobby now picking up quick as we move into our pit zone.
The storm is closing in, and that's going to be forcing everyone to get into where the safe zone is right now. It is moving in towards Pleasant Park. Guys, this is absolutely insane. 51 players still remain, by the way, in a circle this small. They're just trying to get as many limbs possible as people are rotating in.
Mitro on the bottom right of your screen with that minigun has 631 bullets to spray down with Mongrel in a fight. Gets one player weak, but does have to back on up.
Didn't get the clutch. Someone else stole the kill from him.
Mitro gets chunked as well.
Still have a launch pad, but again, when you're in a situation like this, low ground, they're getting sprayed with nothing but grenade launcher shots and frag grenades, and they're both going to be eliminated, and Mongrel also, Airwax just went down as well.
And you see Cease in the elimination feed. Does look like, you remember early on, Elevate did go down there.
That loot looks so delicious.
They go for it. Zane and Sap, do they do it?
Do you go for it? There's a launch pad there and so many materials.
This is game-changing loot right now. They've got the builds to go for it if they want.
They're going to do it.
They're going to make the play.
A gold combat shotgun too, man.
Zane and Sap,
uncontested.
That's one of those risk versus reward plays that can help set them up for 2 victory royales in a row.
Mongrel and Mitro's loot too, man.
Oh, that was
making a statement.
And we know that was juicy loot.
They're making a statement saying, listen, we're from NA, we're here to play. Taking out the Evil, they didn't know they took them out, but they're definitely taking their loot.
Yeah, for sure, as they are still above this
so great rotation items too. They both each have a launch pad, both have 2 shotgun grenades, and they're gonna go. He didn't get it though, they try to get both at the same time. Gonna be flying, and this is it, another massive rotation going to be taken to the center of Pleasant Park. They're 167 damage above the threshold, so they're looking pretty good right now. The question is, are they going to keep mid-ground, go for low ground, high ground? What's the play?
They didn't get the full launch pad. He might have to use his own. Yes, he does again, and that actually works out. He hits his head on something, which takes him down from having to, fly all the way up and float and get beamed. They're going to challenge high ground right now. Zayt and Sap looking to do what many would think was impossible, which is win back-to-back games in the stack lobby. Just saw Falconer in the feed as well. Arkram with an elimination too. 19 duos left as we're moving towards the placement points, Ninja, and these duos know exactly that. 3 points if you make it into the top 15, which could be the difference between first and dead last.
What are they going to do? Are they going to prioritize rotation in and not taking damage, or are they going to try to play it a little risky and go for the limbs? If you're going to be shooting, going for the limbs, definitely open up to a lot of spray, shotgun shots, AR shots, someone suddenly taking the high ground on you. So it all depends on how their play styles can unfold, man.
Many more duos remaining in this game, unlike the last one. Zate with another elimination right there on a KBB. You've got Snappy and Red Rush on the high ground, and Sap
over the play. The high ground
goes to the high ground. Take, will he get it?
He's gonna get it. He has it.
Zate's got high ground. Zate has high ground as they go to try to push for 2 victory royales in a row. Sap is there as well, but Snappy just appeared right behind Sap and shotgunned him down right there.
Zate right now is going to have to concede to the high ground, giving it to Snappy. And he's just going to have to stay alive as long as possible, try to get some placement points. He is obviously a talented player, top player. He can definitely make something happen, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do.
Cease has been by himself since the first moment of this game when Elevate went down at 98 players remaining, and he's somehow still alive. There goes Mega. You've got Darox and Item on the low ground. Vorwin getting chopped down as well. Zate with about 100 HP. Uh-oh. Here comes Vinny and Zexro. They're trying to challenge for the high ground.
Keys right now being held in the storm with 5 limbs. He's going to be eliminated from the back. Zate taken down as well. Snappy still with the high ground. Zex and Vinny and TSM crew looking good, and they're going to take it. They just took high ground. Snappy gave it to him.
And they just got the high ground. Great use of the shockwave as well. Vinny as well as Zexro on hype for the moment. 5 eliminations so far. They're putting their names in the hat for potential victory royale in this game.
Go down, right? They want those limbs.
Forward now with eliminations back to back. 4 players left in this one. Zexro and Vinny spraying from the high ground. It's a 2 versus 1. The player right on the edge of the zone. The shockwave into the air. And he's going to drop on down to hype for the moment. The spray coming on in. It's not enough. Zexro and Vinny.
TSM takes game 2 with style. Both alive. You love to see it.
The victory royale and 7 eliminations.
Look at that.
Vinny's hyped, and Zexro looks like
he was stunned.
They forgot his fries on a fast food order. Why am I thinking about food?
Oh my, you know, Jack, it's pretty expected at this point. But God,
it's on brand.
2 NA teams have taken game 1 and game 2, and honestly, I think that we can all say that the teams hyped up the most have been even. Guess what? Mongrel and Mitro, man, they've also been performing well. They still have so many points from eliminations.
Yep.
Oh man, what a great shotgun shot. They were perfectly in sync. They're even jumping and shotgunning at the same time. Vinny, pop off, man. You love the pop off.
So hyped. Zexro's about to start cranking 90s or default dancing in the lobby.
Like he's trying to talk about literally what are they going to do in the next game.
Yeah.
Like that's what that focus is. That reminds me, I've been in this situation before. He grabbed his hand and shook it for himself, man. That's a top teammate, man. Great synergy.
What a start to today's competition. The energy in here is insane. I am looking around and there are thousands and thousands of people filling up the Arthur Ashe Stadium live from New York City. Again, my name Jack Courage Dunlop, joined by Tyler Ninja Blevins for what is the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. $30 million on the line this weekend. Millions will be tuning on in from across the world. There's so many ways to watch, and we're just 1/3 of the way done with today's action, and it's already been fantastic.
I don't even want it to end, man. I could be here all night. These games are incredible.
Yep.
And just listen, if you guys are watching at home, you guys want to be here, right? You guys want to be competing. Take notes.
Yeah.
Watch these players. Watch how they build. Watch the fights that they take, the way they rotate. And we'll see you guys here next year, man.
Well, guess what? Game number 2 ended with style with the North American duo of Vinny and Zexro taking it there on the floor with none other than Jordan Fisher.
Thank you so much, Courage. I appreciate that. NA showing up and taking care of business. Games 1 and 2, Vinny and Zexro with a fantastic in, both together, which is an incredible thing, right? Walk me through the just in-game for you guys.
So the comp's kind of hectic because of all the noise, but we're just really good at playing together. Like, we're the longest duo that have played together, so yeah, we're just not
Great. Fantastic work, guys. Back to you, Ninja and Courage. JD!
Thank you so much, Jordan. The duo of Vinny and Zexro, they've always been known as being so aggressive.
Yeah.
From all the times we've seen them in these competitive tournaments. while they might be some younger players, they've definitely been around the block here in competitive Fortnite.
Again, you just see them, just like a lot of other talent here, always at the top of the duo qualifiers every single week. Even though they already qualified, they continue to keep playing, and practicing. Guess what? They just took the game number 2. You got to be pumped right now, man. Once you win one of these games, you can't let up, though. Again, and that's why I love that energy. Zex was immediately just, I felt like he was just talking about, what are we going to do next? Hey, man, good job. We won that. Let's do it again. Yeah. Right? How are we going to change, maybe even do better somehow, get more limbs in game 3?
No, for sure. And they know that. They're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. Folks, we have our standings after game number 2. Where are things playing on out? It is still Zayt and Sap at the top. Dubs and Mega at 18 points in second. Zexro and Vinny with that performance go from 0 points up to 17, Ninja. And that is the beauty of how this plays on out. Anyone can have a pop-off game and come right back. Mongrel and Mitro still in your top 5, as well as Serpent Hype, Darox, Item, Vorwin and Tux, Snappy and Red Rush all there. While Zayt and Sap do have a nice little lead right now, nobody is safe from the rest of this lobby. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, just take a look at the points, Courage. You got 11 points, right? Benji and Mr. Savage, they fell out of the top 10. But look at that. Storm and Epic Whale, 12 points. Daedra, M11Z, 12 points, 12 points, 12 points. All they need is 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 extra eliminations right there, and boom, they'll move up 6 places. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's still anyone's game, all right? 2 pop-off games, 1 pop-off game, boom, you're already in the top 5.
Remember, if you get 50th place or 11th place, from that whole time in between, you win $100,000 as a duo.
Still.
But if you go from 10th up to 1st, it jumps all the way to $3 million. So everyone, eyes on that top prize. We are just 1/3 of the way through the action today, but I know we've had a lot of fun up here, Ninja. What an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen,
Happy to be here, man.
Can we give a round of applause to Ninja for hopping in for some guest casting? What a great job.
Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
That's going to do it for us for now up here on the caster desk, but I know Zeke is down on the floor with some notes for you all.
Thank you guys so much, man. What an awesome first 2 set of games from Sap and Zay locking down the lobby to Zexro and Vinny just coming in super clutch. And of course, guys, you've been here. We got to see Ninja. He got to go ahead and commentate some games. So what I want to know from you is, have you guys had a good time? Have you enjoyed it? If so, let's just let me hear you. You know, that was so-so. Let's pretend I didn't ask. Have you guys been enjoying yourselves? That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, we've got quite a bit more games left to get through, but, you know, if you've been watching for a long time, you know I'm a big fan of everyone that loves Fortnite. It's all about bringing people together. And I like to say Fortnite fam. That's my thing. That's what I do. And, you know, there's actually a lot of people from around the world that have come here to compete, to watch, to be part of all of this. And I thought, what better way to give back to you guys than to teach you how to say Fortnite from all around the world. So in just a moment, we're going to take a look at a video, and I can't wait because this is actually the first time I'm seeing this. A lot of work went into making this happen, so I can't wait for us to watch this together. Let's take a look.
Hello Fortnite fam.
포트나이트 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
Vi är ett Fortnite-team, ja.
Ni har åkt till Torio.
Vad kör Fortnite-folk?
Jag är fan du Fortnite.
What's up, Fortnite fam?
포트나이트 팬 여러분들 안녕하세요.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Hey, 저는 Fortnite fan.
What's up Fortnite fam? Was geht Fortnite-Freunde?
冠军等着我们。
What's up Fortnite fam?
Yo, what's up Fortnite fam? Are you trying to do the floss?
Sorry, I'm texting. What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
What's up Fortnite fam?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
E aí, galera do Fortnite?
What's up, Fortnite fam?
G'day, Fortnite fam. Bonjour, comment ça va les fans de Fortnite?
G'day, Fortnite fam.
Cheer up, Fortnite fam. What up, boys?
That was even better than I thought it would be. Just embrace it. We, as a collective, are the Fortnite fam. Get used to it. We're here to stay. Now, guys, you know, there's a few more things I want to take a look at before we hop back into the next game. One of the things to kind of do if you're here or if you're at home, you've been watching, Ninja actually had a pretty dope hoodie, a World Cup kind of exclusive hoodie. Would you like one of those things? Would you like one of the crazy World Cup shirts that we have? You can totally get your hands on one. Head on over, retailroad.com. Get yourself a nice shirt. We've got some hoodies. We've got hats. We've even got the little drone that's the battle bus. It looks amazing. The top balloon is actually the drone, so you've got the bus that's literally flying around. You best believe I'm going to pick one up and mess around with my family. They're not ready for it. But there you go. There's some on your screen. Also, that Drift shirt, by far my favorite piece of merchandise ever. Those of you that really do know me, you know I love Drift. He's easily my favorite character. But just some cool things. If you're looking to get some World Cup exclusive thing, go ahead and take a look. Now, for those of you who have also been watching kind of all 10-week qualifiers long, you know we love Golden Boy. And there's actually one thing specifically he was kind of telling people as we were going through interviews. And that was, hey, when we get to New York, you're going to be in my hometown. Let's catch up and get a slice of pizza. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Zeke, what about like everyone else? Why is it just Golden Boy? Well, he's a Golden Boy and he's selfish and he wanted the pizza all for himself. Get called out. That's right. Now the world knows. But a few of those players actually took us up on the offer. They went out for some pizza. They had a night on the town. So let's take a look together and check this out.
New York City. We got the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, the Empire State Building, and the first ever Fortnite World Cup Finals. I couldn't be more excited about the greatest Fortnite players from around the world coming to my hometown to duke it out. But before the action started, I took World Cup qualifying players Aiden and Chinkin out to show them the Big Apple, starting with PC Gaming Cafe Waypoint.
What's up, boys?
Hey.
Welcome to Waypoint. Good to see you. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. All right, fellas, let's go and grab a drink.
Let's go.
All right. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here in my hometown, New York City. Thoughts on it so far? Chinkin, we'll start with you.
Hot,
Okay.
a lot of people.
Yeah. Hot and a lot of people. I'm sorry, but also welcome to New York. That's kind of the way it is out here. Where are you from in Austria?
Austria, like I'm near Salzburg.
And the population?
40K.
I think it was like 40,000 people in the train that you were in on the way here.
Probably. Like,
Yeah, so
there was so many people.
Now I want to talk about the competition at hand because obviously this is going to be the biggest opportunity, I would imagine, of your lives. You're going to be playing in front of a massive crowd. Is there a way as a player that you prepare for that?
I don't think like there's a way to like prepare for it.
Yeah.
But try to like calm down, not get like nervous, not get shaky and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we should be good. Like.
It's still crazy having like a live crowd.
Yeah.
I try not to take tournaments like too seriously. If I play relaxed, I feel like I do better. I remember when everyone's like, this guy looks like he's just chilling on his couch at home, the casters, and it was like, I was just relaxed, you know, and
Yeah.
just I feel like I played better.
Okay, so gentlemen, we're going to be heading off to some different sites around the city. We're going to go to Washington Square Park, so let's go and check it out. All right, so now here we are in Washington Square Park, gentlemen. And I love the fact that we've conveniently set this up. I don't know what these pieces would symbolize.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. Is it like king or queen? While we have this here, let's talk about competition. You guys are potentially going to be facing off against each other. Have you thought about that now?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the L2 spam like.
Oh, you don't want to feel the L2 spam?
I've watched them play a little bit. Him and Stompy, they're very like, I've seen them play aggro before. It's pretty scary. So if you have chemistry where you can play without even talking, you guys know what you're gonna do. That's like, a team like that's gonna win. So
what you guys are going to experience this weekend, this is the first Fortnite World Cup. You're going to be playing for millions of dollars potentially. Has that even set with you guys yet?
even if it's not me, I'm thinking there's gonna be millionaires after this tournament.
Yeah.
There's gonna be millionaires.
Life-changing money.
I try not to be, I'm not like greedy about it or anything. It's really nice to see like people that nobody know about and they could just
blow up off of this.
All right, I'm going to dive more into that, but I think it's time to get a slice of pizza.
Take you out for a good pizza.
We'll get some pizza.
To give everyone pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna show up with 2 giant boxes of pizza. Say I won't, Bala. Say I won't.
And I kept telling people, hey, I want to get a slice of pizza with you, all the players, and they all ignored me, So thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Obviously, this has been an incredible journey for you all. You're now on the precipice of one of the biggest events in the history of all competitive gaming.
I'm happy that it was a fair chance for everybody, open qualifiers.
Yeah.
You could have no exposure, but if you're good, you get in the tournament. So yeah, I'm just really thankful to be here, and I'm going to enjoy my time here.
Yeah, and we just try to make our fans happy. I'm really looking forward to play on the stage in front of 100,000 people.
Do you feel like the fans and how they've been supporting you all on this road to this, do you feel like that adds a little bit to this pressure?
Honestly, it gives just more support for me. I feel more happy to be here when there's all these people, whether they're rooting for me or other players. Fortnite's grown so much, and I just can't wait to see all the crowd, and I know it's going to get bigger and bigger every event, so.
Fellas, best of luck at the Fortnite World Cup this weekend. Seriously, nothing but the best for you, but we're in the thick of things here in New York. So I think we got to get some more pizza. You guys down? All right, let's do it. New York's got everything, and this weekend, most importantly, it's got the Fortnite World Cup. Now that these two have had their slice, let's see how they handle the competition.
Good guy, golden boy. You gotta love him. You can't not. He's just the best, and it's really cool that he got to go out, hang out with Aiden, get some pizza, and just tour New York. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now, guys, there is actually a dynamic duo that we want to talk to. We actually have Jordan Fisher standing by. He's going to be chatting with Nyx and PF Zin. These guys qualified back from the Brazilian region, and they've got some things to say. So, Jordan, let's go over to you.
Thank you, my friend. I've got Nyx and PF Zin here. Nyx, you have been absolutely dominating in the last few weeks, especially where the solos and the duos are concerned, being the first Brazilian player to qualify for the World Cup. Can you talk to me a little bit about the dynamic that the two of you share as partners?
Nyx, você estava dominando nas últimas semanas, principalmente para os qualifiers da World Cup. Você pode falar um pouco sobre a dinâmica de vocês?
Eu e o PFzinho costuma jogar bem agressivo e tentar pegar o máximo de eliminações possível.
PFZ and I, we try to play as aggressively as possible and get as many eliminations as we can. As you
should in the name of Battle Royale. Right now, PF Zin, you seem to balance out the loose cannon nature of Nyx, who is obviously a dominant player, kind of helping him set up for a solid end game. What's it been like to work with such a young and fiery player like Nyx?
PFzinho, você parece que você consegue contrabalançar o estilo bem incendiante do Nyx. Então, como é que é isso para você fazer esse lado mais balanceado da dupla?
Basicamente eu tenho uma role de suporte, então eu meio que fico nas backlines e ele vai na frente. Quando a gente tem o high ground, por exemplo, ele tem a função de ficar embaixo matando todo mundo e eu controlando o high ground. Basicamente é um lado mais estratégico, enquanto ele é o lado mais agressivo.
Basically, I have more of a support role. Whenever we're in high ground, I'm just more in the background, supporting him. Like he has a more aggressive role.
Setting him up.
Yeah.
To fire the loose cannon at the end. It reminds me of the very W key in a West that I play on all the time, and that has really, just got me cranking my 90s on a regular basis. You know about that courage, right? Am I right? Back to you.
Whoa. Jordan, it's back to me. Come on, courage. He's just found the chicken parmesan. Someone whispered the word and he went running. You hate to see it. Also, big shout out to Nyx and PF Zin. I actually chatted with Nyx very quickly. He walked up and was like, "Hi, I'm Nyx." And I'm thinking, this guy knows how to talk. So I talked a bunch of stuff, told him how much I loved him. Turns out he didn't understand any of it. So I had to get a translator and tell him that I love him. But that's how things go. Now, of course, guys, I know what you want. You want more games. We have 4 more on deck. So I think for now, we're going to send it back up to Golden Boy and Monster. They're going to get us into these games. So how's DJ Mike Realm? Play us in.
All right, huge shout out to DJ Mike Realm, spinning the ones and twos here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Golden Boy alongside Master D-Face, Boricua Boys back at it again, looking to bring you the fun as we have games 3 and 4 on deck. And so far, this has been one of the most exciting events I've ever been to. That game 1 was ridiculous. Game 2 did not disappoint as well, Monster.
No, it didn't. I thought for a second there we're going to see back-to-back performances from Zayt and Sap. And I mean, we honestly did. Everyone that was in the top 10 contestant, even Miz and Daedra, they were performing. We saw them cut it all the way through. And it's that level of consistency that's going to cut the difference in making it all the way through the top 10 and being a World Cup winner.
What I've loved seeing is that standings page, top 10. International through and through. You got the Japanese players popping off, European players popping off, players from New Zealand. Everyone's putting in every little bit they can. But folks, it's now time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back, and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zetro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zextro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then tragedy struck as Zextro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zextro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zayt and Sap. But anyways, look, in here we have UN KVB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one. But there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above. And he just kind of turns a corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. We got a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zextro now looking to engage in this one. Potentially here is going to have, we're going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here, I think, for the players as well. That moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up? Do you change your drop spots? These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nyx, PF Zin earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, Scram, they're going to be on the hunt for him. So they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel the tension, specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players. These guys qualified, and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to, like, literally qualify as hard as you can in the, you know, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. And then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations. but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nix and PF Zin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nix and PF Zin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance. He's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crims now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially. Got some shots going off. Crims is going to play that overlook position. Getting challenged there and trying to use that advantage from the download, a little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if you can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crims. Guy does back away there, does manage to build out. And Spades is going to force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So Spades and Crims are doing a great job here pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not let them get any kind of movement there. I mean, Jamside and 7SSK7, they're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and Spades are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jamside. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified, they were kind of looked down on, like, wait a second, was it luck? Was it not? No, they're here to show it off and show why they're at the World Cup Finals. But now, hopping back with Miz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just wiping up these players at these points of interest. And looks like Lucky Landers is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. Miz and Daedra. They linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there, so you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though. Miz needs to be careful. Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So what they have to do, they have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent, catch a nice little low ground peek right here? Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here. So he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot. What are they going to do? It's just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on. But Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining and just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Gustavo's out. Wishy isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points.
Smirky.
Feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle. And this other player that actually got the high ground against him was focus firing on Volks. Parpy pushing back here. I wonder, you get split up like this, but Volks and Parpy, they love playing a very aggressive style. They'll get in your face. They'll box you out if they need to.
Yeah, without a doubt, this duo was unmatched when it came down to eliminations in the qualifying rounds. They had the most, actually, and even pulled off a consecutive 5 victories in 8 games to qualify for one of the weekends. Volks and Parpy, another kind of reference to Game 1. They had a great Game 1. We saw them picking up duos, but we haven't seen them necessarily make it through to endgame. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that safe approach to the game, and then others that just want to take early fights, get some points early on, because maybe they're playing that early game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great, but you do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2, we were at what, circle 5? Yeah, circle 5, I think. We were sitting at like 45, 46 players. They're just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players. That's deal it back. But Crew and Chapels, one of my picks to watch, had sort of been struggling in the format so far. I guess when the real pressure's on, the environment shifts, right? Everything changes.
That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does manage to get that shot off, or attempted to, with that tactical shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary there, but it did put the fear in the player to have to back away. Both players, well, respecting the space from one another. The stinkers come out. Crew and Chapix having to get out of there, and they're going to use those, I believe, the shockwave nades to just fly on out of there. Didn't see the purple over their bodies there, but they were able to fly on out of that fight. Could have gotten real risky for them.
I was going to say, that was a respectful disengage. You only got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and endgame. So good on them to kind of back up. And when you have stinkers, there's no defense against it. You get chunked down right through your builds. It really is annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, you're only going to get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale, along with 40R Storm. This is a Week 10 qualified duo. Last moment you could possibly have it happen, and they managed to pull it off. Maybe this could be the game for them. Another dominating duo in the scene, Airwalks and Nikov. Airwalks winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is a whole new ball game. Best players in the world in this lobby. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and he knows that. It hasn't been the best run thus far for Airwalks and Nikov.
Yeah, and it was their last final games there. Notice the text right there. The fast track Airwalks and Nikov qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's tense. They were struggling so close, or so like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been traded out as well.
He's over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Mend. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there. So as well, Crew by himself has 1 elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it. sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you gonna do with it? Crew's still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184! Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right. When you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious, the young player there from Sweden, 15 years of age, man, and he's playing for millions of dollars. So many of these players, they're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got a few of the veterans. Zexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our Game 2 winners, Zexro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's the aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players to actually qualify for this weekend. This is a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game.
Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there.
Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're going to have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously, Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd popped for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
Right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. He's going to get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. Yeah, that was going to be Fwexy.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used his shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
It's not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. But he's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that happen, half out circle. And if 2 duos are going to be inside of there, so everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team we want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly going to make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of just getting beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel was shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You were not safe from the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it when you're getting down to these final moments. 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. You shouldn't be comfortable just yet, because anything can happen here. Look at where that next circle is going to be going. Moves need to be made.
With that RPG, I mean, they can basically take high ground at any given moment that they want nor choose. Calculator looking around, already on 4 eliminations for Macwood. Macwood did say he's the fragger of the duo. We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there's no fun and games to be had. This is Game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
And look at that, wasting no extra mats. They do not waste more than they have to.
This was earlier on. An elimination onto Mongrel and Mitro. There you have it. Out of the game once again. That duo, European powerhouse, going to pay there to Dubs and Mega.
So far, so good. Macwood, again, just holding this positioning right here. He is going to get blocked out with his teammate accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well, Monster. 4 eliminations for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Has to be careful there. And there you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zate is going to wrap up right here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos that's going on in the mid-ground specifically.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place. If they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Zate's going to be out of this one, so now it's going to be up to Saf. And Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be to the Storm there. Now looking at Mega, waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of your screen, you can see it down low. So these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Zafe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be. They're still putting this pressure down. And Zaf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself because Zexro is down. And now Oslo, Bad Sniper, one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations with Oslo here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still owning the high ground. On the mid, down below, Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkrum just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkrum down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds potentially. I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this fight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
This isn't looking good there. Mega and Dubs, they have the low ground, the ultimate low ground. Oslo's going to be outside, but they get the elimination. Calculator and Macwood, they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale. 19 points for that duo. Crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout. Seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Got a couple at the end.
Yeah, he had his back. Most importantly, Dubs and Mega constantly playing that defense. Credit to Macwood and Calculator for the way that they continue to apply the pressure. And then it was the shock, sending them down low, forcing them into that engagement. Credit to Oslo now, who threw traps instantly to see maybe he can get a cheeky trap elimination. Didn't work out for him there, but a top 3 placing for him. Certainly got to be happy with that one. And then it came down to the final moment when Calculator and Macwood together were able to push it. And look how happy they were there.
So good. Gotta love the reactions right there.
Whew. What a game that was. Had a little bit of a slow ramp up, you know? But that's what Fortnite will do to you. You're just talking, you're having a conversation about where the positioning is going to be, and then out of nowhere, boom, you're in the action, you're in the fight, and things start to get wild. Great game there for Macwood and Calculator. Calculator winning on the world stage, man. Look at that. Eat your heart out, Reddit.
I gotta say, you know, I'm sure he's proved a lot of people wrong, and you have to respect it.
Yeah.
But, Golden Boy, I want to see where we stand here.
Where are we right now? So at the top, it's still going to be Saf and Zate with 38 points. They have that victory royale from game 1 and 16 eliminations. Mega, Dubs, second place, looking pretty. No victory royales for them thus far. You saw Zexro and Vinny do the same thing, but it's Calculator and Macwood that jump up to 6th place. They have 22 points total, 12 eliminations in that game. They're finally in that top 10.
I want to take it one step further. Bad Sniper and Oslo jump up to 13 total eliminations. They didn't have anything up until this point. They just had one great pop-off game.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're in the running here. It is anyone's game in the top 10 because you have to be consistent. And again, there's always those wild cards, those pop-off moments. And here's a look at page 2. Any of these guys are still in the running right now.
You got Bell and Scarlet, who've been wrestled out of the top 10. The Japanese duo who had a premier game in game number 1. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage saw their demise earlier on. They're going to have 13 points there, but you saw the standings, and we're in game 3. And these games are going to be so critical. Games 3 and 4 really set that tone, because once you get into like game 5, a lot of players are going to be down low. Like, there's an opportunity for you to try and get your way into that top 20, which is where you're really going to start to get a lot in the prizing. But for the folks that are going to be sitting in top 10 right now, they're going to be feeling very nice about their current standings. For game 3 to be in 2nd place, Dubs and Mega, and then Saf and Zate still performing so well.
And that's the crazy part. Dubs and Mega, everyone has been rooting for them. They're like that wild card that came out of nowhere, and they really swept the competitive community hard lately.
Yeah, that's right. So I did get word. We have Jordan standing by with our winners from game 3. Jordan, take it away.
NA really showing up and showing off today. It's amazing, seemingly tapping in that nail on the coffin. Such a please pardon the pun, I have to say, calculated game here from Calculator and Macwood. Guys, well matted, well utilized. You dominated high ground, seemingly all of that in-game there. Walk me through that process of getting that high ground, attaining, and then dominating for the rest of the game.
Well, we were able to pick up 2 lucky eliminations on that outer circle of 4th zone, I think it is, and we were able to use our mats to build up. We were lucky enough to get half and half. and we were able to just beam people out of the air, hold high, and got lucky with a couple zones.
Amazing. Well, I mean, again, you had 3 games left to go. The strategy, is it going to continue to shift around a little bit, or are you guys going to maintain what you've been working on thus far?
I didn't hear the question.
Strategy, maintaining thus far. You guys have a very calculated and very patient game, seemingly leading all the way up to the end of the end game. Right, walk me through your strategy for the end of the next 3 games.
Shoot them in the head.
Shoot them in the head. You heard it here first. Back to you, GB and Monster.
Calculator gets one opportunity to show the world his prowess and knowledge of Fortnite. He just says, shoot them in the head. You gotta respect it.
You know, some people, it's just that simple. And hey, man, maybe he's just wired that way, right? We're all wired a little differently. Calculator has clearly got his head on his shoulders, and he's ready to just shoot things.
Yeah, but Macwood was the one doing a bulk of the shooting in that last game. 7 eliminations for Macwood. He looked so great, and you would expect the young Calculator to be the one that leads the charge on slaying, but Macwood, man, holding it down. And let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I mean, you know, Macwood not that much older, right? But I think it's just important to note that you have to have teammates at any point in time to just pop off. Like, you need that. It's so necessary. Got to trust in your teammate. That's what makes a lot of these duos so successful.
Yes, I mean, we've seen it from the start of every round. Some teams are just more aggressive than the others, and they know how to stick together.
A lot of great moments in that game, and good news for us is that we got Sundown standing by to break it all down. Sundown, over to you.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. Now, we talked about Safe and Zat. We just got to talk with Macwood and Calculator, but Dubs and Mega had an incredible game from the early into the mid that they transitioned into a top 2 performance. So let's dive right on in and see what allowed to make them into the top 3. First, notice their elims in the bottom corner, but the rifle fired together. The second they see the shield is down, able to pick up 1. Mega is the one who is leading the charge here. He picks up all 4 of their first elims. You can see Waller plays down, and the trap is so intelligent. Double ticks going through, places the ramp so it's phased, knowing the yellow is there, pushes in 2 more elims, chugs flashes. Dubs stays up with just barely enough HP, and you can see he's trying to trap the floor every single time. Gets the mid-ground control. 5th elim for Mega. We talked about how high their ceiling was, unfortunately using the shockwave to go down and end up at a low ground disadvantage. Calculator and Macwood able to ride it out, but now Mega and Dubs have pushed into that top 3, challenging to be the